The Po' Boy Pundits podcast is brought to you by What Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. Pulpery Media presents Po' Boy Pundits with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the political headlines that grab our attention and all those little jerks that infuriate us.
There's video circulating, or a couple of them, where ballot boxes are literally set on fire.
Yeah.
And I think it's in Arizona, because of course it's in Arizona.
Maybe they got the cyber ninjas doing that.
Yeah.
But they've been...
it's Dominion voting is what it is, systems.
They were talking about it on Meet the Press about how there's, a lot more early voters this year are voting Republican. But then the question is, are those the people who would have voted anyway for Trump?
Right.
And then are they expecting new voters to show up, or is it...
Yeah, like, how do you verify any of that?
Right. So that's... And again, that's one of the threads I heard on Meet the Press that some of these pundits on TikTok have been talking about, of like, what we're seeing is, like, Trump's base is staged, sure, but it's not really growing at the rate that they are claiming that it is. And so you might see these early voting numbers.
He's got to be at his ceiling for his base, right? Like
Well, and he's throwing everything into this, like, I'm going only dude, right? Like, he's targeting males.
At his Nazi rally in New York, he had people up there, like, saying Puerto Rico is trash.
Yeah, that was fucking terrible.
And then even what Stephen Miller quoted Hitler word for word, except Germany, he put America in there. Like, literally, like...
But that's even worse, too, because not only you're quoting Hitler, but you're also quoting Goebbels.
Yes. Right? So it was like, it was a disaster.
Yeah.
And I don't know how. Like, he comes out and says, paraphrasing here, like, if you're Latino and you don't vote for me, you've got to be the dumbest person on earth. Like, that's basically what he's saying. And he expects...
Yeah, and the sad part is the one group that should be able to spot a emerging dictator is 100% in his camp in the, American Cuban front. But I can't understand how, if you are of Puerto Rican descent, how you could vote for that man after one of his speakers
and then
called it a garbage island.
Yeah, a comedian.
Yeah.
Well, remember what happened with the two hurricanes? He's out there flipping fucking paper towels and voting against vetoing funding for
in which
two natural disasters.
All that did was just, grow their nationalist movement instead of like, hey, we want to become a state.
They can't vote, which is so fucked up because they're American, but they can't vote. But if they live in America and they're Puerto Rican, they can vote.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're a territory, not a state. They don't have sovereign power.
It's like Guam.
Correct. And American Samoa and...
That's the other one. I just like saying the word Guam.
Yeah. It's fun.
It is.
But and it's a shame because it should be the 51st state, but because we've let the American government has let it go to shit, not the Puerto Rican people.
Yeah, no, they've just been like
Is that now it would be not the 100% equivalent, but like say 50% equivalent if we decided to adopt Haiti, right? It would cost so much money.
We literally don't care about Haiti. Yeah. We want Haiti to go away.
Well, I mean, Puerto Rico's not that far off.
You think?
In terms of how the American government views it. Like,
oh, yeah, no, I get that, yeah.
As long as the resorts are nice, like, they don't fucking care.
Because Haiti, they've got, like, gangs running the country at this
point. Like, Puerto Rico is fine because of the Puerto Rican people, but they've had, like, their whole infrastructure has been wiped out.
Everything. All of it.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah, and they just keep rebuilding and rebuilding because they are...
and amazing people.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I couldn't believe he was saying that. Doubling... Oh.
Well, I mean, he said so much shit.
I wish I had a list of all the terrible shit that was said at that thing. I really want to punch Stephen Miller in the throat.
Well,
I would spend time in jail.
You're in MSG. You're in New York, which has a massive Puerto Rican population. And you let one of your people say this shit?
Yeah.
And then,
First of all.
And then also, New York, massive Jewish population. And then you got somebody...
Well, Stephen Miller was like, I'm Jewish. It's an insult to me that you're calling him a fascist. I was like, really? Shut up.
Is it?
They better fumigate the fucking arena before the Rangers play there next. Like, drop a fucking bleach bomb in that bitch. Hazmat suit, scrub it the fuck down.
No. That's going to be the reason. This year, the Rangers and the Knicks are just going to tank.
And the Rangers are on, like, the best opening 10 games or whatever. One of the best.
It's over.
Fucking I'm not going to say it on mic because I'll get arrested.
No, he's no longer president. Although if he's got people,
wish him death.
Yeah, we could be thrown into a concentration camp if he wins
afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, I swear to God, Kimmel, jail.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a Nazi rally.
Yeah.
In the same building that there was a Nazi rally.
Yeah, where was it? I forget if it was John Kelly or I don't think it was Mark Milley, but that quote coming out of where he claims he never said it, but then there's like 10 people who were in the room that were like, oh no, he fucking said it.
Yeah, no, he definitely... Here, hold on, I've got notes where...
He wants his generals to be as devoted as Hitler's generals. And you're going, okay, first off, they weren't all that devoted, so your history is just really bad.
Yeah, no, they weren't devoted.
And because Hitler fucked up the army, because Hitler made... No, I get to make every decision.
Well, of course.
Same as invading Russia in the winter.
Haven't we learned over all of history's...
No.
Forever.
No.
You don't do that.
No, unless you're the Mongolians.
Yeah, that's different. We won't.
Yeah.
They are built for that.
Yeah, it was a different breed back then. But
okay, so back to this fucking...
But this is the dumb shit that they idolize, right? He was a great speaker. He did all this stuff. Like, he did it with slave labor. So that's essentially what you're telling us.
He finally... You're right. It's just come to light. Like, if he never came down those elevators, like, he'd still be raping little girls and Epstein would still be alive.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah. And Giselle wouldn't be in jail.
She wouldn't be in jail. Yeah. Right.
And Diddy would be having his lotion,
He would still be having... his baby... I saw a Halloween costume where, like, the chick was dressed up as baby oil. The only bad thing it was a white kid who had blackface as Diddy. Yeah, it was... But, it was a great idea. Execution, little off. But, yeah, all that shit would still be going on because that's the real deep state that these motherfuckers are scared of.
Yeah.
But... Trump's ego got in the way and he had to run for president. Now he has to keep running for president until he dies.
Yeah.
Because he can keep running forever, can't he? As long as he gets the nomination?
Correct, yeah.
Holy fuck.
Which is...
I hope he does.
Yeah. I need to be more like you and write notes down because that's one where I want to say it was just... Is that unfortunately we're going to look back on it, and I think most everybody's going to be like, "Well, that was crazy when Trump was around," and you're going like, "No, this was it was a long plan, and we've talked about it before." But again, if for whatever reason, if the Republican Party had just said, "No, we're not going with you. We're going to go with any one of these other legitimate people,"
who was it at the time? Like the Ted Cruzes of the world?
Yeah, Marco Rubio.
That was the other douche.
But you also, like Kasich always runs. Is that, or am I thinking of the nerdy?
There was a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And they all got in sparring matches. And then the racist people were like, oh my God, he's saying
again, the fucked up nature of what we're living through, which is, like, I'm sitting there going like, man, if only Mitt Romney got another shot. Or... where's George W. Bush when you need him? Like
that is saying something.
Yeah.
And then, all right, so more,
and that we're now in agreement with fucking Dick Cheney. Like
and Liz.
Yeah, but
all the Cheneys.
Yeah, but like primarily Dick Cheney, which, next to Henry Kissinger is a fucking war criminal.
John Oliver had another stab at Kissinger.
Sure, yeah. You always got to.
Because fuck that guy. Thank God he's dead. I don't care.
And yet somehow Dick Cheney is still alive.
Right? And Donald Trump is right behind him. We keep losing the good ones.
Right.
So then this motherfucker goes on Joe Rogan for 3 hours. Could you imagine how much cocaine was done in that room?
I actually feel bad for Joe Rogan.
So do I, because he's a douche. Like, he is a douche.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, we grew up with this cocksucker on Fear Factory.
Yeah.
I
remember him from News Radio, yeah.
Joe Rogan. Dave Chappelle made fun of it. And he's got some really stupid conspiracy theories over it. But
he was a really bad stand-up, too.
Oh, God, I forgot he tried that.
Yeah.
See, he's tried everything, and he figured out that douche sticks.
Yeah, somebody said it like he's the master at jumping on a bandwagon as soon as it's like become like passe. Like,
right.
He was the second round of the Man Show. Him and Doug Stanhope.
No, see, I forget that. That
yeah,
doesn't
because it was fucking terrible. Because at that point we were like, yeah, we don't. It was when people stopped buying Maxim and FHM magazines.
Like I don't need that.
Yeah, no.
Fucking douchebag. So yes, they had a sit-down conversation. Joe Rogan will, to get back to him, he will call you on your bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'll give that to him.
Yeah.
But he'll also agree with some of the bullshit you spew too. But
yeah,
him getting called out by Joe Rogan in a 3-hour interview, something's wrong.
I just enjoyed the clips where like Trump's rambling and you can just see Joe Rogan being like, I have no... and even a couple of times he's like, wait, hold on. What are you saying?
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's just, what decisions have I made in my life to be in this room with this man shitting himself, rambling on? I don't understand. And then the crazy shit he was saying on there, too.
Yeah.
Deporting 13 million people. Because that'll happen. You can't do that.
Well, and when Joe Rogan challenges your economic policy, you might want to go back to the drawing board.
Right. Joe Rogan?
Right.
Fuck, I could have wrote down a note and given it to my daughter.
Well, and
had him read it.
And or I think that also, that's what I was thinking this Sunday, because J.D. Vance was on all of them. That's
going to get to him in a second.
And but like the Trump campaign's thing of, they call it the Harris administration and all that.
Right.
And not one person from one of the major networks ever just says like, hey, time out.
That's not her administration.
Yeah, it's check your constitution. The vice president literally does nothing.
Yeah, no, we talked about that.
But like no one in major news media is correcting these shitheads. And
I get that.
But then it's like somebody like Joe Rogan who's like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly. Somebody else got called out on that. Like, she wasn't the president.
Right.
Like, she's not the president.
But like I saw like Kristen Welker, Margaret, the CBS.
None of them called him out.
No, like he kept saying Harris administration.
Yeah, I know, that's their
thing.
The
only thing they called him out on was when he said that Trump did do a peaceful transfer of power because he left office on the 20th.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, that's not how that works.
That's the one that got Tapper laughing. He's like, I mean, thankful or not thankfully, like he should have just been like, fuck it. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. As he sulked to his jet and flew off during the inauguration. If that's not a sad boy going home kicking rocks, I don't know what is.
Did I do good, Dad?
So, quick question on the other side. Is Walz campaigning with Harris together?
Yeah.
How come J.D. Vance and Trump don't do that?
Because I don't think Trump likes it. The following segment has been brought to you by Whatever Lola Wants. Go to WLWPrivateChefs.com for information to reserve top-quality chef and restaurant services in the Chicagoland area. The Po' Boy Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, Music by the Heisenberg Compensators.